Hey, what's up everyone? I just got this news recently in my Google News feed and I wanted to share it with you all as an update on the weather conditions and weather predictions for spring here in the United States. I had to pause and turn my notifications volume off so it would not disturb you in case I got a notification. Here's the forecast highlights. As one of America's famous groundhogs declared last week on Groundhog Day, a slow transition to spring is in store for most of the United States this year. If you go by that tradition, it's more of really like a kind of like a tourism thing or a money-making thing where they make a lot of profit from Groundhog Day. But anyway, and it's sort of also just a fun little tradition that a lot of places do. But as one of America's famous groundhogs stated, they say we have 6 more weeks of winter, but we'll see what happens. Much of the northern tier of the country will endure rounds of cold and snow into March and April before spring-like air creeps in. Now that's the northern tier of the United States. Meanwhile, the southern half of the United States will heat up, with California, along with them, and parts of the southeast heading toward drought conditions. So all of these areas could be dry, very warm, and with a lot of drought and storms even. These areas right there that I've highlighted will be all in basically the storms and warm and dry and very hot conditions. As you'll see, areas here from Tennessee, Kentucky, basically the entire Tennessee Valley and Louisiana and places around those locations will be dealing with strong thunderstorms as early as March, possibly. And these areas will be warm, and anywhere below there, which is Florida, will be dry and warm. Areas in the orange, shown here, will have a mid-spring warm-up, and it will be dry and hot in these locations. These will be dealing with either snow at times, very wet, chilly, or snow and rain conditions. So let's break it down below. The chill to hang in the air in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and Midwest states. It'll be a slow transition to mild weather. It's in store for the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and Midwest this year. Mixed rain and snow events from the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic will take place into April as chilly air remains entrenched across the regions. In the Midwest, cities such as Minneapolis, Chicago, Milwaukee, and others could receive snow as late as the end of April. If it does warm up, it won't last for long, or at least not a very long duration. I think, they stated, the warmth comes in spurts throughout March, April, and May, according to AccuWeather expert long-range forecast Paul Pestelok. Excuse me. While warm spells here and there may make you want to get started on your garden, he states that he's warning us that it's best to hold off on that in those areas especially. Be careful about putting things in the ground too fast because April could bring some surprises. While the chilly weather may be a disappointment to some, it will also make spring severe weather a no-show this year in those locations. Now, as far as the South and areas of the Tennessee Valley, Southeast, and the Gulf Coast, severe weather is expected to kick off early in the Southeast, Tennessee, and the Tennessee Valley, and the Gulf Coast shown there. Severe weather may dodge areas farther north, but it will waste no time heating up in the Southeast, the Gulf Coast, and the Tennessee Valley. Forecasters are calling for 2 or even maybe 3 big severe events as early as March. Building warmth and a lack of precipitation in Florida during April may lead to drought conditions later in the season. However, the dry pattern could be turned on its head come May when an early tropical feature threatens to impact the region. This could cause the Sunshine State, Florida, to rapidly transition from dry to flooded. Over the last 3 years, over that period, we have seen early tropical development in the Atlantic Basin, and I do feel, they state, that there's going to be something popping up, according to Pastelok. The area to watch out for is the Eastern Gulf and Atlantic, Southwest Atlantic. That's the area to watch this season. I think that area is a little more susceptible this year. Severe weather may make a comeback for these regions later in the season, stretching from St. Louis, Missouri, down to Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, and Louisville, Mississippi. Okay, I was thinking Louisville, Kentucky, but okay, Louisville, Mississippi. Temperatures to ride the roller coaster in central and northern plains. In those locations, temperatures will ride the roller coaster with short-lived warm-ups arriving at times. In April, we could see a pretty good bubble burst in the Central Plains states where they're going to take off for a while. These temperatures, he states. However, they're likely to reverse for a time in May. The temperatures have been a roller coaster everywhere, especially, it's just been a roller coaster. It went from 36 down to 26 and then back up to 40 within just a 2 or 3 hour period just a few nights ago. So that was here. Melting snow in those areas could cause flooding at times, especially along the Mississippi River. Warmth to dominate southern plains, southwest, and California, while the northern and central plains contend with surges of cold air. A mid-spring warm-up will grace the southern plains. Severe storms will threaten to ignite from time to time in places like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Houston, as well as Austin, Texas. In the southern southwest areas, residents may need to, in the southwest, crank up the air conditioning early on as the region basks in early summer-like heat. The mercury could soar up into the 90s quite quickly in the southwest. So in those locations, you can expect 90s very early. Along with the heat, however, comes dryness, and this may translate to worsening drought conditions across Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California, along with an increased risk for wildfires. So that's not very good news for those locations either. Another highlight is wet and cool weather to prevail in Northwest Rockies. The Northwest and Rockies will have a slow start to spring, with March temperatures feeling more like February on most days. The wet and cool pattern will persist for the Northwest throughout April. In the mountains, snow could hang on at least as late as May. With this late snowpack and the warm-up that takes place late spring and early summer, we could have some flooding in the region's rivers, according to this meteorologist. So that has been an update on your current weather conditions across the United States. The areas to look out for strong thunderstorms are right here in the central and southern areas, in the Tennessee Valley and the Tennessee area. These areas are most likely to receive strong, severe thunderstorms during early spring. Like they stated, as early as early March. So we could already expect up to 3 storms by then, they state. So we'll have to see as these patterns persist. They're calling for snow again Sunday and again next week as well. So we'll see as these patterns persist what takes place, and I'll give you updates on the weather as time goes on. So much love. This has been the latest update from AccuWeather. I will copy and paste the link in the description box below. Hopefully you're doing well. Let me know you're doing well in the comment section below. And you can also message me or email me. So much love, peace, and I hope to speak with you again very soon. This has been a weather update. Bye. Peace.